My dear students, welcome back to the video lesson. I hope you all are safe and sound at your home and watching your video lessons religiously. I am Shweta Gupta, your maths teacher. Today I am going to teach you exercise 7C and 7D of lesson 7 of your maths book. The topic of exercise 7C is adding and subtracting like fractions, and the topic of exercise 7D is adding unlike fractions. So, let's get started. Children, in the previous exercise of lesson 7, that is 7A and 7B, you have learned what are fractions and different types of fractions. For example, like and unlike fractions, or proper, improper, and mixed fractions. You have also learned how to change unlike fractions into like fractions. Now, in exercise 7C, you will learn about the addition and subtraction of like fractions, while in exercise 7D, you will learn about the addition of unlike fractions. Let's come to exercise 7C, which is adding and subtracting like fractions. Children, like fractions are the fractions with the same denominator. As we all know that fraction has two parts, numerator and denominator. So, those fractions which are having the same denominator are called like fractions. For example, 2 by 7, 3 by 7, 5 by 7, 4 by 7. So here we have 4 fractions, and in all these fractions, denominator is same, that is 7. So these fractions are like fractions. Sum of like fractions is equal to sum of numerators upon common denominator. Difference of like fractions is equal to difference of numerators upon common denominator. Children, this will be more clear to you when you will go through the examples. So, let's see the example. So, let's come to the examples. The first question is 87 upon 100 plus 23 upon 100. So here we have two like fractions. One is 87 upon 100 and the other one 23 upon 100. Now how we are going to add these two like fractions? Well, the sum of these two like fractions is equal to sum of the numerators. And what are the numerators? 87 and 23. So we will add the numerators 87 plus 23 upon the common denominator. And what is the common denominator of these two fractions? It is 100. So we will write 100 in the denominator place. And now when we will add the numerators, it is coming 110. So 110 upon 100. Children, we will cancel the common 0 in the numerator as well as in the denominator, and so our answer will be 11 by 10. Now children, this is an improper fraction, so we can change into mixed fraction. So what will be our answer? 1 by 10. So this is the answer. And children, this question is question number 2D of your exercise 7C. Now let's move to the next example. So here we have two like fractions, and one of which is a mixed fraction, the other one is a proper fraction. Both are having the same denominator 8. So children, when there is a mixed fraction, first we have to change the mixed fraction into improper fraction. So let's see how we have changed the mixed fraction 5, 7 by 8. Yes, this is the way to change the mixed fraction. 5 multiplied by 8 plus 7 upon 8 is equal to 40 plus 7 upon 8, and that is equal to 47 by 8. So, mixed fraction 5, 7 by 8 is equal to 47 by 8. Now, after changing the mixed fraction to improper fraction, now we are going to add these two like fractions. So, in the next step, we are adding 47 by 8 plus 3 by 8. So, now we will do the usual thing. And what is that? We will add the numerators, and then in the denominator place, we will put the common denominator, that is 8. So, what is the sum of the numerator? 47 plus 3 is equal to 50, and the denominator is 8. Now children, the fraction is 50 by 8. Now we will divide this fraction by 2. Means we will divide the numerator as well as the denominator by 2. And what do we get? We get 25 by 4. So, our answer is 6 1 by 4 in the form of mixed fraction. Children, whenever you are adding or subtracting like fraction, and if you get the answer in the form of improper fraction, you have to change it to mixed fraction. And this question is question number 3C of exercise 7C. Now, let's move to the next example. In this example, there are three like fractions. First one 4 by 51, second one 24 by 51, and third one 23 by 51. So, we have to add these three like fractions. So, again, we will apply the same formula, that is sum of the numerators upon common denominator. So, what is the sum of the numerator? 4 plus 24 plus 23. And what is the common denominator? 51. So, when we will add the numerators, it is coming 51. So, and the common denominator is 51. So, 51 by 51. So, when we will divide this by 51, and we will get 1 as the answer. I hope this is clear to all of you. And this question is question number 5C of exercise 7C. Now children, let's come to the subtraction of like fractions. Let us see the following examples. The first example is 19 by 75 minus 7 by 75. So, these two fractions are like fractions. Now, we know that when we have to find out the difference of two like fractions, what do? We write difference of numerator by common denominator. So, what is the difference of the numerators? It is 19 minus 7 is equal to 12. And what is the common denominator? 75. So, 19 minus 7 upon 75, which is equal to 12 upon 75. Now, children, 12 upon 75 can be divided, or it can be reduced by dividing the numerator 12 and the denominator 75 by 3. So, we are dividing 12 by 3 and 75 by 3. And what do we get? We get 4 by 15. Now, this fraction 4 by 15 cannot be reduced, or it cannot be divided commonly by any number. So, this is the final answer. And children, this question is question number 4B of your exercise 7C. Now, let's move to the next example. 10 5 by 18 minus 5 by 5 7 by 18. Children, here we have to find out the difference between two unlike fractions which are written in the mixed fraction form. Means these are the mixed fraction. So first we have to change the mixed fractions into improper fraction. So let us change the first mixed fraction, which is 10 5 by 18. So you know the steps how to change the mixed fraction to improper fraction. So what we are doing, we are multiplying the integral part 10 with the denominator 18 and then adding the numerator. So this will be in the numerator place, and in the denominator place we will write the denominator 18. So what is the answer? 180 plus 5 by 18, which is equal to 185 by 18. So 185 by 18 is the improper fraction. Now let's change the second mixed fraction, which is 5 7 by 18, to improper fraction. So we will follow the same step. Integral part 5 multiplied by denominator 18 plus numerator 7 and upon 18. So 90 plus 7 upon 18 is equal to 19 upon 18. Now we have changed both these mixed fraction to improper fraction, and now as we know that these two fractions are like fraction, so we will write the difference of these right fraction in the following way. 185 by 18 minus 97 by 18 is equal to difference of the numerator, which is 185 minus 97, which is equal to 88, upon common denominator, which is 18. 18 is the common denominator. So 88 upon 18. Now children, 88 upon 18, we can divide this fraction, this whole fraction, by 2. That is, we can divide the numerator as well as the denominator by 2. So when we will divide 88 by 2, it is coming 44. And when we divide 18 by 2, the answer is 9. So our final fraction is 44 by 9. Now this is an improper fraction, so we will change it to mixed fraction. So what is the answer in mixed fraction? It is 4 8 by 9. So this is our final answer. I hope you all have understood. And children, this question is question number 4D of your exercise 7C. Now children, let's come to the next exercise, which is 7D. In this exercise, we will learn the addition of unlike fraction. So before doing the addition of unlike fraction, let us understand what are unlike fractions. Unlike fractions are the fractions with different denominators. For example, let us see the following fractions: 4 by 5, 3 by 4, 7 by 11 and 12 by 19. Children, in these four fractions, can you see the denominator? The first one is having the denominator 5. The second one is having the denominator 4. The third fraction is having the denominator 11. And the fourth fraction is having the denominator 19. So all these fractions are having different denominators. So we can say that these four fractions are unlike fractions. We can do addition of unlike fractions by two methods. First one, change the unlike fractions to like fractions and add. Now children, let us understand how to do the addition of unlike fraction by following the first method, and which is by changing the unlike fractions to like fractions and then adding those two like fractions. So the first example is 9 by 20 plus 2 by 5. Children, these two fractions are unlike fractions because they are having different denominators. The first fraction is having the denominator 20 and the second fraction is having the denominator 5. So children, first we are going to change these two unlike fractions into like fractions. For that, we have to find out the LCM of the two denominators, which is 20 and 5. So, the LCM of 20 and 5 is 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 5 is equal to 20. Children, I hope you have already learned how to find out the LCM of any two or three given numbers. So, the LCM of 20 and 5 is 20. So, now what we are going to do, we will change the given fractions to like fractions with the common denominator 20. So, we have to make the common denominator 20. For that, what we will do, let's see. 9 by 20. Here, the denominator is already 20. So, what we have to do? We have to multiply the numerator as well as the denominator of this fraction by 1. So, the final fraction is coming as 9 by 20. Now, the second fraction is 2 by 5. In order to change the denominator 5 of this fraction to 20, what we need to do? We need to multiply 5 by 4 in order to make the denominator 20. And if we are multiplying the denominator by 4, we have to multiply the numerator by 4. So, when we multiply both the numerator as well as denominator by 4, what final fraction do we get? It is 8 by 20. So, now we are having two like fractions, right? 9 by 20 and 8 by 20. Now, children, add these two fractions. You know, we have already learned just now how to do the addition of two like fractions, right? So, 9 by 20 plus 8 by 20 is equal to sum of the numerator, which is 9 plus 8 upon common denominator, which is 20, and which is coming as 17 by 20. So, this is our final answer. And children, this question is question number 2D of your exercise 7D. Let us see one more example of adding the unlike fractions by the first method, which is changing the unlike fraction first to like fractions and then adding. So, in this example, we are having three unlike fractions. 2 by 5 plus 3 by 10 plus 7 by 5. So, now children, in this addition of unlike fractions, first we have to change the unlike fractions to like fractions, and for that we need to find out the LCM of the denominators, which is 5, 10, 5. So, the LCM of 5, 10 and 5 is 2 multiplied by 5 is equal to 10. So, now what we are going to do? We will change the given fractions to like fractions with the common denominator 10. Right? So, in order to change 2 by 5 in a fraction in which denominator is 10, we have to multiply 5 by 2, and when we are multiplying the denominator 5 by 2, we have to multiply the numerator also by 2. So, 2 multiplied by 2 upon 5 multiplied by 2 is equal to 4 by 10. So, 2 by 5 changed to 4 by 10. Now, 3 by 10. In this fraction, children, denominator is already 10. So what we have to do? We have to simply multiply the whole fraction by 1. And 3 multiplied by 1 upon 10 multiplied by 1 is equal to 3 by 10. Now, in the third fraction, which is 7 by 5, again we need to change the denominator to 10. For that, we have to multiply the denominator 5 by 2. And since we are multiplying the denominator by 2, we have to multiply the numerator also by 2. So, when we multiply the numerator as well as the denominator by 2, what fraction do we get? We get 14 by 10. So, now we are having 3 like fractions, and these are 4 by 10, 3 by 10 and 14 by 10. So now we will add these 3 like fractions, and we know how to do the addition of like fractions. So what we will do? We will write the sum of the numerators in the numerator place, and in the denominator place we will write the common denominator, which is 10. So what is the sum of the numerator? 4 plus 3 plus 14 is equal to 21. And what is the common denominator? 10. So the fraction is 21 by 10. Now children, 21 by 10 is an improper fraction. So we need to change this fraction to mixed fraction. So what we will do? We will divide 21 by 10, and what do we get in the form of mixed fraction? We get 2 1 by 10. So this is our final answer. I hope children you know how to change improper fraction to mixed fraction. Okay. So this is question number 5C of your exercise 7B. Now children, let us see the second method of adding unlike fractions. So here what we have to do, in order to find out the sum of fractions, we just need to write sum of LCM D divided by denominator multiplied by numerator of the fractions upon LCM D. And now children, LCM D is the LCM of the denominators of the unlike fractions which we are adding. Now this method will be more clear to you when you will go through the examples. Now children, let's see the example of adding the two unlike fraction by following the second method. So children, here we have 11 by 30 plus 8 by 48. These two are unlike fractions with the denominator 30 and 48 respectively. So first of all, we will find the LCM of the two denominators 30 and 48, which is 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5 is equal to 240. So LCM D is equal to 240. Now according to the second method, the sum of these two fractions is equal to LCM of the denominator divided by the first denominator multiplied by the first numerator, bracket close, plus LCM of the two denominators divided by the second denominator multiplied by second numerator. Now children, what we will do now? Now we will follow the BODMAS method. So according to this method, you know that first we have to solve the brackets. So first we will solve the two brackets. Children, in the first bracket, we have to solve division and then multiplication according to the BODMAS rule. So 240 in the first bracket, what do you see inside the first bracket? 240 divided by 30 multiplied by 11. So first we have to divide 240 by 30. And what will be the answer? It will be 8. So you will multiply 8 by 11. So in the next step, you can see 8 multiplied by 11 written inside the bracket. Plus, in the second bracket, what is written? 240 divided by 48 multiplied by 8. So first you will do the division. That is, first you will divide 240 by 48, and what you will get? You will get 5. So then 5 multiplied by 8. So in the second bracket, you can see in second step, you can see that inside the second bracket we have 5 multiplied by 8 upon 240, which is the LCM of the two denominators. Now 8 multiplied by 11 is equal to 88 and 5 multiplied by 8 is equal to 40. So 88 plus 40 upon 240, which is equal to 128 upon 240. Now children, we can reduce this fraction 128 upon 240. Let us see how we have reduced. First, we have divided 128 by 240 by 2. So what do we get? We get 64 by 120. Now children, you know that we are dividing both the numerator as well as the denominator by 2. Again, 64 by 120 can also be reduced. How? By dividing both the numerator as well as the denominator by 2. So what do we get? We get 32 by 60. Again, we will divide 32 by 60 by 2 and we get 16 by 30. Now again children, we can reduce this fraction 16 by 30 by dividing both the numerator as well as the denominator by 2 and we get 8 by 50. Now children, this fraction that we get after reducing, this fraction cannot be reduced further as it cannot be divided by any one common number. So this is our final answer. And children, this is the question number 11 of your exercise 7D. I hope you have understood the addition of unlike fraction by this method. Okay. Now children, I hope you have understood both the exercises 7C as well as 7D very well. And now children, you will do some assignments based on these two exercises. Now children, let's do the assignment. The first assignment is from exercise 7C. You have to solve the following questions. These are the addition of like fractions. And you have already learned how to do the addition of like fractions. So you will do all these sums in your notebook in a very neat and clean handwriting. Now children, let's come to the next assignment, which is from exercise 7D. These are the following questions which you are supposed to do in your notebook in a very neat and clean handwriting, and these questions are from exercise 7D. Children, you can do these sums by either of the two methods which you have learned in your exercise 7D for doing the addition of unlike fractions. But I would prefer to do the addition of unlike fraction by the first method, that is by changing the unlike fractions to like fraction and then add, because that is the easier method. So I hope you have understood both the exercises very well, and this way we have come to the end of the video lesson. I hope you have enjoyed the video lesson thoroughly. Thank you, my dear students, for watching the video lesson.